Hi, this is NARROWBOAT NIGE. Going live. We're going live. We're all live. Just having a look at the progress down here at Gallows Wharf, Gallows Reach, down at London Road Bridge. There's been a lot of talk from the trust and from the volunteers and just the general public, people frequenting the place. You know, how awkward is this going to be? How difficult will the pour be? Will the big pipe get damaged as a result? There's all of those things, all those questions being asked, and we're down here today to make sure that it's all in place. And hopefully, this is very impromptu, this live, so here we go. Live update of what's going on down here at Gallows Wharf, Gallows Reach on the Lichfield Canal restoration. We've got concrete being poured at the moment. Looks absolutely fabulous, doesn't it? We've got Michael Babb, he's on the dump, beg your pardon, we've got Michael Babb, he's the plant operator. We've got the dumper driver on the opposite side. As it's happening right now here at London Road Bridge, just here. Absolutely brilliant to be able to capture this and get it on film for you. We've got the formworks over there that was constructed last week. That formworks was moved from the previous riser unit there, the upright concrete. This is to strengthen the canal wall because the water table has gone up and down inconsistently over the years due to construction, land movement and all the other factors. Obviously one of the big concerns down here today is the big pipe just there. As the machines that sit on top of it, it's very important that they track straight as possible. So compaction of the ground after each dumper movement is made good by the machine operator, Michael Babb, top man. So the second amount of concrete has been dropped. It's all in position. It's all down there now. It's all good. Bit of camaraderie now. A bit of a relief now that the concrete vehicle is here. Obviously, they've got a window to operate that in to get it delivered. Otherwise, it incurs further costs, which is what they're at pains to, quell, if you like. But the good thing about it is, and here's the thing, it's all going very, very well and all very consistent. There you go. So obviously we've got the press full today. There's both myself and there's Alan down there as well. So it's quite a lot going on. So you're live, by the way. Lichfield Canal Restoration Trust is live. Oh, dear. There you go. So that's it. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. So the volunteers are in very high spirits. I've spoken to them all this morning. Typically everybody gets here around about 8 o'clock in the morning and they have a brief, just informal to start with, and then as things pick up and as volunteers arrive, everybody sort of knows their place. And as I've said before, there's a good mixture of people here, and the trust is very fortunate to have a lot of experience, a lot of people that have retired and have decided to volunteer and give their time up for this incredible work, and they all absolutely love it. I've spoken to them all this morning. They absolutely love it. And some of them are reconnecting with working outside. They started in their early career in the dirty boots teams, like, you know, where we are now. Then they go into the offices, become structural engineers. All the great people that bring these productions along, constructions along. And as they've retired, they're back out here and they're reconnecting with what they enjoyed doing, and this is always going to be, and for me it's always going to be the business end. So it's nice to see a few people in here. I wasn't going to do a live, but I thought I'd just, you know, just got the phone here, good signal, nice weather, not so windy down here. So got Ethan, Wooding, Black, nice to see you. Kevin, Ethan, yeah, there you go. Where's the north or south? So at that end, that way, so I'm in Lichfield, so that's the Anglesey branch that way, so that's sort of northwest, and then you've got this way going that way, you'll be going towards Uddersford Junction, which is the Coventry Canal, that way. So where we are here, this is London Road in Lichfield. So if you put London Road, Lichfield, you'll know where you are. So just drop that pin there, and you'll be more or less on top of us. Yeah. Any other questions here? Nice, got quite a few people in. Yeah. So I'm all consistent with how I conduct myself on site. I've been asked before, why are you wearing a hard hat, why are you wearing glasses and gloves, and you've got like an helmet clip on? Well, it's obvious. I'm on a work site. I've been briefed. The work's taking place down here. Very important today because this is a very awkward pour. As I've said, the bucket from the excavator has to go at a certain angle because I don't want to disturb the ground too much here. Because of the big pipe we've got here, the risk of moving that pipe, it's unconscionable. They cannot, at any stage, that can't be moved. The amount of water going through that pipe, if they were to break or damage it in any way, the water would flood into this section, and it would cause all sorts of damage. So, and obviously be detrimental to the work that they're doing right now, because as you can see, the water level, it'd take over very quickly. And the formworks down there and the concrete being poured in would be catastrophic. But we're nowhere near that because we've got an excellent team that are working very consistently and conscious of all the risk factors involved with an important delivery like this. It's okay. I'm finding it very difficult to. I'm finding it very difficult to know what to say, if I'm honest. So if you're wondering what they're doing right now, they've dispatched 2 loads into the formworks. The consistency on the first pour was a little bit too watery, which is no good. It needs to be more consistent. The machine driver, Michael Babb, then asked the dumper driver to ask the dispatch of concrete, which is just round the corner there at Fishface at Tamworth Road, can we put a little bit more consistency into it, less water, which is what they've done. And now what they're doing, they're using a poker from a generator down there. What they do, they drop the poker and it vibrates, and it just makes sure that all the concrete moves within the formworks and fills in all the gaps, so there's no air bubbles or anything like that. So, which is what you don't want in concrete. Where do I work? I work on the railway. I'm assurance safety advisor now, but my railway background is permanent way, plain line and S&C renewals, and also as my career went along, infrastructure maintenance for 7 years. I moved into civils, at which point I worked on station platform construction, DNO cubicles, train driver walkways, signal bases, you name it, I've done it. I've been involved in it on the railway. So worked on some big construction sites. Yeah, hi back, Claudio. How are you doing, mate? All good. I live for in Manchester. Okay. MTV. Yeah, that's me. You've got it. How did you know? Is that Joe January 6th. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat what that said. So there you go, it's all looking good. When I get involved in a job, I suppose I've been fortunate really in my career. I've done 3 or 4 stations now. Wellingborough Station, Kettering Station, Market Harbour Station, Corby Station, all Midland Main Line, and they've gone very, very well. Heritage Works, Kettering and Wellingborough, track realignment and station improvements. Brand new station at Market Harbour is involved in all of that. A lot of these guys down here are ex-civils, construction managers, structural engineers, all from different varied backgrounds. And yeah, I've heard about that about Oxford. Yeah, Botley Station out in Oxford. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've got a mate that works on that. Probably ought to reach out and change my job. So this is the 3rd lot of concrete that's gone in. A lot more consistent this time. Yeah, that's a better mixture, that is. Much better mixture. That's it, that's about as exciting as it gets down here. Well behind schedule. I don't do well behind schedule, mate. I do on time and on budget. What they need, a lot of these jobs, they need good communicators. Not necessarily people that know the job, but know how to bring people together to make sure that a job goes in the right direction. That's the problem with a lot of infrastructure projects. I've just worked on a massive one for Network Rail, and it's been absolutely fantastic because the people on it have been built up over a period of many, many years, probably 10 years or even more. And everybody understands everybody's strengths and weaknesses. Everybody knows how to speak to one another, and consequently, as a result, it all comes together. It works. So we've got the 3rd batch now coming along. How are you? So it's nearing completion. Another dumper load should do it. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Are you being nice or are you being horrible? Let's have a look. No, there's no compensation for the noise. That's been absolutely one of the linchpins of this project. It's been absolutely fantastic. The local community is totally on board with it. The amount of people, the amount of footfall down the towpath down there is consistent with a normal towpath, particularly within a city, the city of Lichfield. So no, there's no noise complaints as such. The volunteers are very respectful. They're not down here every single day, so the impact is very small. There may be there'll probably be letters going out, noise letters going out to let people know that when they pile through here, so there's 25 meters of that to go in down there, roughly where the machine is sat down there, and that will require a conversation, but that will be done during the day. Now in my line of work, it's normally done during the night, so you can imagine what the residents would think if you were doing it at night, you know, putting piles in and bang, bang, bang. They wouldn't want that at night, but it does happen. But yeah, the locals here, for example, they come out regularly and they're in total support of the volunteers and the work that they're doing, because at the end of the day, and I keep saying this is a volunteer-led project, and the guys and gals on it, it's completely unpaid, so you can imagine, can't you? So no, there's no complaints as such. What we got here? Yeah, we do a lot of piling on the railway. A lot of it's usually done at night, so yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But a lot of it is necessary. And then once it's done, you know? Once it's done, it's done. So yeah, besides everything else that's happening down here at Gallows Wharf, Gallows Reach, on the off towpath side, you can see the wall here. And again, there has been a little bit of criticism from some people saying that the brickwork is this, the brickwork is that. Again, it's a volunteer-led project, so it's going to be like that. But the volunteers that are here are picking up skills that perhaps they've never done before. There are a lot of retired people, bereaved, and for one reason or another, people are down here doing what they do. So we've got the dumper coming back for another load. Get in on that. Very nice. That's the last lot going in, probably, from this delivery. A lot more consistent now, that is. Just move out of the way. Yeah, no problem. I wasn't expecting to go live. I thought, no, you're right. Then I thought, why not? Why not just go live? Why not just do a live? Because this is important. This part of it is very important. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of concern about this concrete pour, this one and the previous one, because of the pipe. You can see Dave there, look, he stood on the pipe. That pipe, it was important that this ramp up was put in so that they could get a turn with the excavator to be able to pour the concrete in at least at a bit of an angle. They tried. What they did was they tried to come down the channel. They tried to come down the channel as it is now at this level, but the pipe goes towards the towpath side of the channel. So what they had to do, they had to get this material that they'd excavated previously, bring it in and compact it so they could drive the dumper and the excavator up in order to be able to deliver the concrete into the final set of formworks down by the bridge. A lot of people have asked, well, will that big pipe come out? Yeah, well, it will, but it carries an awful lot of surface water from the city of Lichfield, from the rooftops and the gardens and so forth. And there's always water flowing through it. It never stops. And it intersects with the old canal channel as it was installed back in the 1950s when the canal was drained. It was designed in to take water away from the city of Lichfield, as I've just explained. And it goes in at certain points. It goes in at John's Grange a little bit further up, it goes in there. And then there's several other places where it goes in. But the good thing about it is, once the canal is realised and goes into water, and this section becomes watertight in 2020, by the back end of 2026, it'll be fed by that water, so there's going to be no real issues with water. So I better get out of the way. So here we go. I'll keep going live for a bit longer. I'm down here to film for my October roundup, so. Right, so it's coming back. I'm going to get out of the way. Lovely. That it?
I'm doing the vice next.
Oh, right, yeah. But that's it for there, isn't it?
That's it for there, yeah.
Yeah, nice one, man. Cheers, mate. Right, that's it then. All good. In the hood. anticipations of this level of well, what's the word? I can't really put it into words. It's a lot of action anyway, so they usually go along at a steady pace. This is going along at a steady pace, but there's been a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation about this. So thanks very much for watching me. Thanks very much for watching the volunteers on the live stream. It's gone really, really well. Thanks for everyone that has turned up. Again, it was very impromptu. I didn't even think about doing this until I got here. So that's it from down here at Gallows Wharf, Gallows Reach. A very complicated but rewarding set of works. 4 works was put in place last week. This is the very, very last couple of days of October 2025. The clocks went back, didn't they, at the weekend? So but no, it looks like everything went according to plan. And thanks very much for watching. See you all again in the next live.